What's up, everybody? It's your favorite dimly lit Detail's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the ThreeZero Voltron set. And the reason why I say dimly lit Detail is if you know Nathan, he was in a collection critique where he didn't have lights in his details. We called him Dark Toff, and it's kind of been like a running gag ever since. Good dude hit me up and asked if I'd be interested to take a look at this, and I was like, absolutely, and he sent it my way. So with that being said, we're gonna get into this set. It's a lot to talk about, so I don't want to waste too much more time with introductions. Let's get started with accessories. So we'll start with the Voltron accessory specifically. He has this sword, is kind of iconic sword at that. We have the blue paint that they use for this whole set has like a different quality level to it, I feel like, than a lot of the other colors. It almost has like a metallic element to it. And then the silver and gold, which you'll hear throughout the review, I'm sure. And sculpt work is great, paint is great. What do you want me to say? There is a tab that will go into the roof of the lion mouth, and then you just close down the lion teeth on it, typical Voltron style. And of course, what good is a sword without a shield? Silver and gold, metallic blue, or metallic-esque blue, and then the kind of flat red there in the center with the blue handle. Standard fare. And he holds it the same way. And like I said, they're both reversible, so you can have whichever one in whichever hand you'd prefer. Yeah, he also comes with this saw blade. I'm not sure if I've seen this before or not, but it's painted beautifully. The gunmetal silver is just absolutely astounding. And then we have the saw blade itself, which is painted to silver, metallic silver. It looks as good as the rest of it. And that is intended to go underneath the lion head here, but it, is chipping the paint as it's going. So I am reluctant to kind of mess with it too much. But that's where it's supposed to go. It's the same sort of connection point there. It's chipping. So I'm not gonna do that. You get these two silver pieces. They're basically tails. They're just painted silver. And on the arm cats, they'll just plug right into the connection point at the end. So moving on, and we'll go cat by cat and into any detail that we need. So you have these have this kind of onyx finish to them. They're metallic flecked. They look great. The sculpt work is fantastic. There's no accents or anything, but that's par for the course. Very fine plastic work. Be careful. Then we have the metallic-esque blue as well as this silver paint here. This piece tabs into the roof of the mouth just like the kind of sword and shield do into the hands, and then these two pieces just peg into ports in the shoulder. Once again, good sculpt work, painted with that metallic flecked onyx type gunmetal almost, and then this with the yellow paint and then the metallic silver. Now, these aren't pegs, so they actually allow you to keep the weapon straight because it can get confusing, which is nice, but otherwise plugs in the same, works the same. Same deal. The metallic flecked onyx with great sculpt work, smaller tabs so you know where they go, and then the red with the gold accents and the silver blades. And there he is armored up. Pegs, tabs into the roof of the mouth, per usual. Same deal, you're probably getting tired of me saying it. The onyx metallic flake paint, nice sculpt work, and same here with the nice little sharp blades, and then the green with the metallic silver. Once again, different connection points. They got the small tabs, so small females to receive it as well. So it just helps keep track, and then the roof of the mouth as normal. Whew. And then lastly, just the two side cannons here with the blue connection points, which is interesting. I guess that's to not have the paint on there, which is probably the right call. And with the metallic kind of onyx flecked paint applied over top. And they just plug on the shoulders. And I just realized that I missed this accessory for the one for his mouth. He just holds it with tension in his teeth, and we have the gold accents and the silver blade and the black glossy paint over top. So sorry about that. And there's a quick shot of them all armored up, and we'll show them without the armor later on. But they look good. All right, so because this guy pretty much comes in combine mode, we're just gonna go to combine mode first, and then we'll transform to cat mode. So you want to take these sleeves off if you haven't already. I've taken most of them off, just not that one. And rotate them up and sit them against the legs, or the front legs. Take your paws, your dog paws down. You'll see that this part extends. That's nice, it's spring-loaded. And that's this guy. Then you have the legs themselves, and you simply want to rotate the lion head rather up, rotate the dog paws back. You can kind of do anything that you want with these paws to give more stability, but there's also a very nice rotating out heel spur there as well. Very, very nice. All right, so same for this side. Rotate the head up. Rotate the dog paws down. Rotate the red piece out. And the last thing we had to do that I forgot to do on the other one is open this up. That spring loads down. So same on this side. Open this up. That spring loads down. And then we're going to insert the leg here until it clicks in. There it is. Same for the other side. I'm just trying to be cautious because this doesn't belong to me. I'm on a good streak, but yeah, easy enough. The arms already come ready to rock and roll. There's your connection point. Just insert. Same for the other side. Insert. He's ready to go. I'll clean him up. We'll take a look at him. So let's take a look at the figure, and we'll start off with the head. I think the sculpt is great. I think the paint is beautiful. It's fantastic. We have, you ready for it? Silver and gold. You can have these pieces collapsed up here. You know, I know there's some preference stuff and some kind of like, you know, history with that or whatever, given the toy, given the figure, blah, blah, blah. You can have it either way. We have like a glossy red paint there, gold metallic eyes. The blue is painted, the black is painted, the gold is painted on the eyes. Very well done. You can, let's see, look up. You can look up additional with a hinge joint at the neck. This piece here is spring loaded, so when he looks all the way up, it fills in the neck a bit better. And when you go to push it back, it'll insert into the space, cleaning up the head nicely. Exceptional. Exceptional, exceptional, exceptional. All right. The head itself is kind of like on a ball peg, so you get a swivel around and so forth. Gives you the confused dog look. And you get, you know, the left to right. You also get a separate swivel above it at just a swivel joint. So, really, really well done, to be fair. Let's take a look at the arms, shall we? So, you saw where it plugs in. You get a swivel at that connection joint. You get a ratcheted, oh, I'm sorry, not ratcheted, but a hinge up that gets you past 90 degrees. And the shoulder piece here separates, whoop. Try to keep that connection when you do it. And you can get a little bit of a butterfly joint as well. Back and forth. So that's pretty cool. Plus, you know, and you get it all the way around on the that motion. You have a bicep swivel. You have an elbow joint here, single hinge, that gets you just shy of 90 degrees. But this piece also extends, exposing a secondary joint that'll get you a little bit past 90 degrees, which is nice. You get a swivel at the forearm. It's kind of a redundant joint. You don't really need it. You also get a swivel at the wrist. The wrist itself does extend a bit, should you need it for whatever reason. But you get a swivel, you get a little bit of hinge in, out, and a little bit of hinge up, down. So all of that is nicely done. Same for the other side. Now, deco-wise, it'll be the same as the cat for the most part. So we'll talk about that a bit more in their cat modes. But obviously the red is painted, the silver is painted, and the accents are painted and look good as a result. Same for the other side. For the chest here, we have the blue, green, red, silver, and gold paint. So that works nice. Articulation-wise, limited waist swivel. So that's a bummer. Now, there is an ab crunch joint. If you lift up and bend over, so to speak, get you an ab crunch, which is nice. Oh no. There's a piece that's broken here, I think. Or maybe not. I have to look in the box. I don't see it though. Oh, I see it. I wonder if I broke that. I'll have to look back at the footage. If I broke it, I lost my points. Damn it. If I didn't break it, then we're still good. And I forgot to close these as well. All right. So then we have the lower body here. We also have the silver paint there, the gold paint, the red paint. Forward to there. This whole joint, though, I believe, yes, does rock down where it plugs in and get you the leg all the way up to there, which is nice. Once it's rocked down, you get the leg all the way back as well. All right. You also get, we'll rock this down a bit more just to get the clearance, an outward movement on that universal to there. So not the full Van Damme, but pretty nice nonetheless. Thigh swivel, single hinge knee. This piece here is spring loaded, so as you go to move it, this piece will automatically push it in, getting you the range of 90 degrees, which is nice. All right, moving down, we have the cats themselves. You can condense these, you know, doesn't hurt anything. We have the ankles. So there's actually, I believe there's like an ankle. Yes, there's a slight ankle joint halfway in the shin. I don't think you'll need it, but it is there. And then, of course, there's the lion head itself, which rotates all the way down to get to lion mode, as we saw, and up. And you get the rocker there as well as this whole middle body shifts as well. So the rocker should get it all sorted for you. And there's the paint. The blue specifically is brilliant. We'll take more of a look at that when we go to cat mode. But yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. Size comparison wise, there he is with Masterpiece Trailbreaker from X-Transbots and Masterpiece Jazz from Make Toys, to give you an idea. I've also measured him. He's about 10.5 inches, slightly over, so to speak, which makes him pretty much the exact same size as the Bandai SoC Voltron. The proportions are different, but height is about the same, which is a great size, I think, for a Voltron. It's manageable still, feels like an action figure still, gives you those feels of like when you were a kid and had it, like where you could kind of manipulate or hold the whole figure with like one hand and use it as an action figure. I'm a fan of this general size for Voltron. I don't know why. It's nothing about it makes it inherently better. It's just a preference thing. All right, so let's get him into cat mode. Just the arms just pull straight out. I'll connect that body piece there. Same for that arm. Set those to the side. The legs actually have a release, which you can open up these compartments there, these little doors, and then that releases very nicely. Same for this side. Open up the little door. Release button is right there. Releases very nicely. We'll start with the arms first. Just rotate the tail up. You can open up these doors here on both sides, which will allow you to rotate the legs out. They also pull out from the body. Same on this side. And pull out from the body. And then angle them in a way where you can collapse. You see, but I've pushed this back in. Let's try. Let me try it on this side. Yeah, that got it. There. You had to work around this joint, you know, which is just a little tricky. And I've seen this done before and also found it to be a little tricky in the past. I'm going to use a spudger. This joint doesn't even want to stay out. You know, it's frustrating, really. You know, I don't want to break it. I don't want to snap it off, but like there's nothing to really pull from. There. Yeah, not the best there. Build-wise, like this one is like stuck. So not great. Not great. Okay, for the top, you want to collapse the body. Now you can use that joint if you need it, you know what I mean? Open up these doors here. Bring out the paws, the dog paws. They also will separate from the body a bit. And then this flap you want to rotate all the way in, and then this flap down. And same for this side. Pull out a bit. And this will actually peg in, like tab in. And then the head you just pull out, and he's good to go. This guy's the same. We'll see if those back legs are any easier to deal with. Collapse that. You know, you can have this joint any which way you'd like. Rotate the tail up. Open these doors. Bring the legs down. Open this door. Bring the legs down. Pull the leg out. That one works much better. Angle it so that the door will clear it. Tuck it up and under, and that'll tab in. Same on this side. This one's having problems too. There, although that one went. That one just needed a little extra convincing, but it did go. And then that pegs in. Legs are good. All right. Front, same deal. Open these doors up here. Both sides. Take paws, dog paws. Swing them down. Open up the joint a bit. Swing in. Tab in. Same on this side. Swing in. Oh, pull them out a little bit. Swing in. Tab in. And then the head extends. The head should extend. So this piece in there it goes. But it didn't want to come out. Like it wanted to pop the ball peg off, which is a little frustrating. But there that is. Move on to the legs. So we open up these panels here. And here. You grab the rear legs and rotate them down. There is a release button here that flaps that flap back into place, and then you can close that up. Same on the other side. And these hips do open up. And these pieces will fold up and under. And I don't have that quite right. But same on this side. I'll try to get that one a little bit better. There. That one looks good. This one I gotta fix, but I'll do it in post. I won't waste your time with it now. All right. You can flip the tail out. Be careful with it. And we can bring this piece up. Rotate the entire headpiece down. Bring the paws, dog paws down, and they will open up a little bit at the shoulder as well. And I mean, that's this guy. Same for the other one. We'll go a bit faster. So open up the door, bring down the leg, pull it out from the body a bit, use your double hinge here, angle this piece in, and then push it forward. Then you can bring down the leg. Same on this side. Open. Bring down the leg. While you're here, press that button. It'll release this thing in the back. Angle forward. And then shove in. Rotate down. Close that little piece there. The tail comes up and folds around. Be careful with it. This piece folds in. These pieces come out. Rotate down. Same on this side. And then the whole head piece rotates down. And there you go. And then you're just left with the main body. So the head folds up into the line, you know, obviously, and then this piece closes behind it. The whole head extends a taste. These pieces you can close up or have open, same sort of deal, right? You can fold up your wings here just a bit, just to get them out of the way. Use that butterfly joint. Open up this panel here, which will allow you to release the leg, and then rotate that whole piece down, fold up. You can collapse at your leisure because you can use it for articulation as well. Same on this side. Open up, flip out, rotate 180, close up, tuck in, orient the feet. Unfortunately, we gotta flip the tail. Golly, man. And then you can do whatever you gotta do to get these bits here kind of angled right for his lower legs. And then tuck in the wings. And that's him. So we'll start with the big cat here. Obviously the same silver and gold. Obviously you can have, I always put this out as a kid. They were like his ears to me. But obviously you can have that either way. You have the ball peg inside, get you a little side to side, get you a little up down. Plus you have the additional tilt there. So that can swivel at the base. And on top of that, you have a ball peg inside of the head here, which gets you a hinge and a slight up down. But that's about it. I wish you got a little bit more side to side action on the head, but that's about it. Then you have the shoulders. They work the same way. You can expand it all the way to get like a real grimacing, or intimidating kind of lion build, which is nice. Plus you get the rotation around if you so desire. You have no swivel there, obviously, because of the transformation, but you do have an elbow and ankle joint that are both on hinges. And then the paws have an ankle tilt up, down, and then swivel for a rocker. All painted silver there, looks good. Body works the same way, slight swivel. You do still get the like ab crunch for a pounce, which is nice. And then you have the tail, which gets you back and forth. Hips move the same way, so we're not going to cover that. You do get another elbow swivel or hinge and ankle hinge, as well as a swivel here for the rear paws, so they can have ankle rockers as well. So kind of everything that you would need, basic but effective. And then we'll do the arms. So we'll just do the deco on the other one. We'll cover the articulation on one, the deco on the other one. So we have the ball peg at the base of the neck, and then a secondary hinge out front. This does get you a little side to side and a little up down. The jaw moves. You have the laser beams inside the cat mouth. You also have this bit here, the weapons bit that flips up, and then I think that's all that does. Okay, red is fully painted. The shoulders swivel out or hinge out, and then they swivel around, and then you have the elbow and ankle hinge, and then do you get oof. You don't get the rocker on these guys, do you? Or maybe you do. Maybe you do. It's right here at the base. It's just very subtle. You do get it. We have the swivel, and then we had the arch the cat back, and then we have hinge at the hips here, plus an outward movement, same, and then the same articulation for the knee and ankles to include the rocker, and then the tail, obviously you get up, down, and then this little bit on a ball peg as well. And that's this guy. Other one is identical, but the green paint does look good, and this bit flips up here. Then we'll move on to the legs. So you get this up-down movement that they use for transformation. Unfortunately, due to the heel spur, it doesn't fold any further, so you can't get the cat head down, which is a bit of a bummer. But the cat head here does move, swivels a bit, and goes a bit side to side. And then the jaw opens and closes as well. This bit here rotates up and down. The shoulders hinge out, swivel around, elbow ankle joint on a hinge, and you get the slight ankle rocker as well. You also get the cat arch back joint, so that's nice. Rear legs, we have the outward movement. It's subtle, but it's there. The swivel back and forth, the elbow and ankle joint, and then the same subtle ankle rocker as before. And then the tail rotates up and down, and has an additional point right there, which it shouldn't, in my opinion. That's how the other one broke. The paint is fantastic. The black stuff accents are all perfect. They look good on the face of the cat as well. Yeah, no issues. They're die cast. Like the legs are die cast. I didn't mention that. Has good weight to it. No issues. Then we have the blue one. Articulation is the same. The blue is absolutely outstanding. The paint is just like there's something special about it in comparison to the other ones. You have this bit here that flips up. Extra little doodad. And otherwise, the red paint, yellow paint, silver accents, etc. look great. And then it has the same die cast pieces as well. And there they all are in cat mode without the weapons and stuff. So I checked, and it definitely was intact in the earlier footage, so back to square one. 57 is the record. 57 is the record. I'm gonna put it down here. Final thoughts wise, let's start with the negatives. I mean, the first thing, first and foremost, is that tail, right? That tail connection point is too fragile. It's probably there for a little bit of articulation. It should have just been one molded piece, but it's obviously a criticism, right? My other criticism is some of the joints are really, really tight. This is a ThreeZero issue kind of across the board with a lot of their products. But the hips, the shoulders, and the elbows speak specifically to this issue. While we're on the topic, waist articulation is too limited. It's very, very limited, and it does affect the posing abilities of the figure, which is a shame because all the other articulation is built in with no problem. I also don't think that the connection ports are the strongest connections. They're not terrible, not by any stretch of the imagination, but I've seen better for both the arms and legs. There is one slight negative with the transformation, and that is the rear hip joints of the arms, the arm cats. As you saw, I had a hard time kind of separating them enough from the body to sort of insert themselves or insert the flaps behind them, which was a little bit of an issue. And then the last thing that I would point out as a criticism is, I know it's not commonplace to paint or accent those shoulder weapons, but I think they really would have benefited from it. That's my own subjective opinion on that, but it is my opinion, that is. And that's really it. Moving on to the positives, there's plenty to talk about. The build is fantastic, the exception of the tail maybe. The materials feel great. The paint is astounding. The blue paint speaks to a higher magnitude than the rest of it, that's my opinion. But nonetheless, the paint is fantastic. Comes with a ton of accessories. Nothing to turn your nose up at there. They're all appropriate. Would have had a nice thing to, would have been nice if they had something to store them in like that Bondi one did, but small potatoes. The articulation is amazing minus the waist swivel. The rest of it is just absolutely impressive from top to bottom. The sculpt is beautiful. Nothing to turn my nose up at there. The transformation is fun and intuitive the way that a Voltron transformation should be. Simple, but kind of interesting and fun. Fun, I think, is the key word with Voltron, in my opinion. I think the cats look great. I think you get all the articulation you need. Maybe they would benefit from a little bit more in the arms and stuff, but I don't think they leave you wanting more, which is nice. So it is a recommend from me, but I will say, like, my initial kind of being blown away by this set has been hindered by actually dealing with it. It's not bad, but it's far from perfection. It's a solid set, and that's where I'll leave it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.